Easy there, friend. You look like you're in a real hurry to get somewhere. Could it be because you've got Miss Lockwood's papers? Please say yes. Otherwise, I'm pretty much out of leads. Then I get angry and take out my frustration on your corpse, which I admit I was hoping you'd say that. Why'd you have to go and say something like that? I was really looking forward to killing something. I can't deal with this. I'm going over to Billingsley's for a drink or three.
CNP near maple syrup. It's near this complete breakfast. Anti-Cleo's energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups of concentrated caffeine in every dollop.
Why can't something exciting happen around here for once?
Nothing wrong with stability. It means everything's running well.
Don't you ever want a little fun? Maybe see a marauder ship get blown to bits overhead?
What a thing to say. Everyone knows marauders can't fly.
If I spit, think I can hit that?
That's the last of them.
Finally. Is it just me, or are we getting more and more retirees lately?
Not just you. Felt like a damn factory worker these last few months. Nothing of you traits will cure.
Welcome to the Halcyon Holdings Corporation Early Retirement Center. You, the lucky few, have been selected to spend the rest of your days living the high life in your own private district in Byzantium. When you arrive, you'll be whisked away to your very own luxury penthouse, furnished exclusively by 24/7 Furniture, Deluxe Falsco Collection. Some assembly required. 24/7 Furniture is not responsible for any injury, psychological damage, or divorce litigations that occur during the assembly process. After you get settled in, you'll have the chance to explore your new home. Why not? Or maybe you'd like to head to the bar and enjoy an ice-cold Zero-G brew. Zero-G brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. Although in the early retirement district, nothing will. All this and more will be complimentary for the entirety of your stay, courtesy of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. You won't have to spend a bit.
Does that elevator go back up?
Halt. Security.
Here they come!
Security actions. Sanitation and cleanup required.
Zero G Brew, an ale that's good for what ails you. Although in the early retirement district, nothing. All this and more will be complimentary for the entirety of your stay, courtesy of the Halcyon Holdings Corporation. You won't have to spend a bit. So relax, grab a refreshment from one of our vending machines, and enjoy our specially constructed welcome center.
Does that elevator go back up?
Processing unexpected noise identified. System alert. Beginning.
Watch a pro at once. Anyone else?
Everyone all right?
Make them regret it.
And cleanup required. Threat level neutralized.
While you're here, be sure to check out the displays for some fun facts about the early retirement program and selection process.
Wait a second. Indoor retirement program.
Halt. Patrol mode. Security patrol.
While you're here, be sure to check out the displays for some fun facts about the early retirement program and selection process.
I'll keep it down.
Hey, wait a second. This ain't a retirement program.
Alex,
You gotta show me how you did that. Oh, for the good old days when you could simply... I just don't get how you can be so casual about your integrity, Ellie. Way I see it, you're either standing up to the board, or you're standing up for him.
I know nuance ain't exactly your strong suit, but it's not that simple. Grow a few hairs on...
I must admit, I'm getting a certain thrill out of our little arrangement. If this goes well, perhaps I'll start hiring wandering delinquents to handle all of my affairs. It is going well, I hope. What? You mean it's just a sham they perpetuate so they can dispose of the rabble? That's brilliant. To take the most burdensome members of our society and simply remove them. Oh, I'll never doubt the wisdom of the board again. Why, I had no reason to be envious at all. What a relief. And how else would I react? A vagrant such as yourself couldn't possibly appreciate the emotional burden this news has lifted from my shoulders. But regardless of your ignorance, I promised you a fee for your services, so a fee you shall have. Of course, as we agreed. I'm not one to break a contract. In any event, while I'm deeply grateful for the peace of mind you've brought me, I will need some...
You ever get the feeling Max is trying to convert you?
I don't think I've ever listened close enough to tell.
I was in the mess the other night, kicking my boots up on the table. Just opened up my latest issue of Tales from Beyond, right?
Felix, I didn't know you read.
Hold on, it gets better. Max was there reading one of his dusty old scriptures, and he just gives me this look, like I'm a stray Canaan wandered into his church.
Sculpture.
And he says, "Son, do you know what you're doing with your life?"
Pulling that giant tossball stick out of your ass?
Good one, Ellie. I gotta use that line.
You, with the hips. Over here. Let me take a... Don't speak. Hold that posture for a moment while I admire you. You have a natural contrapposto, my dear. The way you rest your weight against your hip suggests a certain rugged charisma possessed only by the mighty primal and the well-traveled spacer. Splendid. You're not afraid of speaking your mind. You smolder and growl. Oh, you're just too perfect. I'm Celeste Jolicoeur, and you, my dear, are exactly what Byzantium needs. I'm an artist, darling, not a tweed merchant. I don't sell things. I pollinate the world with art. I'm working on a new line of clothing that will shock this city to its core, and I'd like your help. What do you say, my dear? Care to make history with me? Everything I need to know can be deduced from a first impression. You're an outsider. You're exotic. When I look at you, I see the very embodiment of everything the walls of Byzantium were built to keep out. Making an outfit worthy of you won't be easy. Marvelous! You and I are gonna wake this city up like a cold splash of wine to the face. What I need is a survey of the outside world. What does the common laborer wear? How do the wild-eyed madmen of Monarch dress themselves? I've heard rumors, but I require samples. Also, I expect you to model for me. Oh, you cad! You'll be the talk of Byzantium once I'm done with you. I'll need you to model for me the following: the apparel of an iconoclast, the armor of a marauder, and a full ensemble of spacer gear, helmet included. And when I say spacer gear, I mean an outfit worn by real spacers. None of that garbage spacer's choice pedals.
No tall shoes, though. I mean it.
You have the bearing and demeanor of a born model. You're going to absolutely murder this job. I expect you'll cut an exquisite figure. What else do you need to know? I've heard rumors of these iconoclasts, half-mad zealots rampaging across the surface of Monarch. You'll have to find your own way into Monarch. I can't help you. Even if I could, I prefer not to interfere. I don't know, I've never seen a marauder. Not in person, anyway. There are always Aetherwade programs, but I want something authentic. Byzantium is long overdue for a change of wardrobe, my dear. Something barbaric, yet elegant. If I were an enterprising spacer in need of a wardrobe, I'd probably head to the Groundbreaker. Fabulous! I can't wait to see what you dredge up. If I were an enterprising spacer need... For you, anything. Outside Byzantium? Of course not. There's nothing for me outside Byzantium. Byzantium has lost its élan vital. Everything about this city is so dreadfully stale. I want to make people uncomfortable the way you do. You're an outsider. You clearly don't belong in Byzantium, and yet you strut about, doing as you please. I'm not some common buttonmonger, darling. I'm an artist. It's my job to make you uncomfortable. You're very welcome. I can't wait to see those outfits.
If I do somehow drop dead in here, promise me you'll drag my corpse somewhere with monsters.
What can I do for you, darling? If I...
I love Byzantium. Where else are you going to find
The
dissidents actually took
requires
over
no
the
next scene.
refinery.
Seriously,
I
don't
can't
mix
believe
it.
it.
And then, the chairman shot their space shuttle down with a Hammersmith grenade launcher.
CNT, I tackle it. Not you. If I believe
Nothing exciting ever happens around here.
Wouldn't it be something to see an Earth assault cruiser land here?
Don't be ridiculous. There's no way one would fit.
How would you know? You've never seen one.
Neither have you. I don't know anyone who's seen one.
Anti-Creo's ketchup. Organic, vegan, handmade, gluten-free, dairy-free, nut-free.
Wrong with stability. It means everything's running like clockwork.
Don't you ever want to...
Anti-Creo's level head. Feeling a little off balance? You need a level head. Anti-Creo's facial mask skin cream.
If I spit, think I can hit that mechanical down there?
Machinery for 2 hours after application.
I won't. I'll blame it on you. Wouldn't it be so...
I won't tell.
Are you still tinkering with that?
It's not gonna fix itself.
Don't we have repair drones for that kind of thing?
This was a repair drone.
Then, once you're ready, enter the elevator at the end of the hall and leave your
Why can't something...
Auntie Cleo's energizing ointment. Enjoy 6 cups of concentrated caffeine in every dollar.
I guess we're going to Fallbrook.
Captain, Felix and the Vicar are arguing again.
Young Millstone, you look pensive. I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Little else in this colony offers such a relaxing pastime. So, tell me what's on your mind. I excel at confessional listening.
Good to see you, boss.
are now in orbit above Byzantium, Captain.
Apologies for the wait. I was arranging my stationery. Wonderful. I'll file the appropriate paperwork on your behalf. Meanwhile, Adjutant Akande would like a word with you.
You allowed Rachel Lockwood to walk away with her life. Do you realize the inconvenience you just caused me? Don't look so surprised. You're a potential investment. Of course I'm going to keep an eye on you. Leaving her alive complicates matters. But that's now my problem, not yours. And you've brought me Lockwood's papers, as I asked. You've demonstrated your talents. If you're ready to talk about Phineas Wells, I'm prepared to listen. I appreciate that you want to drive a bargain. You understand I'm not paying you for anything less than reliable information. Wells had to be in touch with you somehow. Find his communication terminal and send us a tracing signal. Once I verify his location, I'll arrange for your payment. We've been chasing Wells for decades. I don't mind waiting a little longer. I'm having Percival give you the code to our secure channel. If you decide to cooperate, use it to plant a tracking signal in Wells's terminal.
As instructed, the code for our secure communication channel.
Today's greeting is brought to you by
Do
Auntie
we really
Cleo.
need all this security? I have to go through.
Ah, your face is a sight for sore ocular processors, Captain. Or rather, your headgear is.
Hey, boss, I want to
Crew
talk to you.
members who back. Microwave Saltuna are subject to be jettisoned from the airlock.
Every SAM unit comes lean, mean.
When you started working for the adjutant, I wasn't sure what to think. But the way you treated Miss Lockwood was real honorable. Heroes always do the honorable thing. There it is. The tagline for our adventure serial. This is all part of your plan, right? You're putting on an act. Pretend you're loyal to the adjutant, earn her trust, and then, when she least expects it, you hit her with the old double cross. Hey, no problem, boss. I can keep it on the quiet. What were we talking about again? Have we even met before? See? Discreet. We should get back to work. Thanks for the talk.
Sometimes I can hear Vickers saying prayers to himself. Sometimes I hear him cussing about tossball scores.
We are now in orbit above Stellar Bay, Captain. No blockade is a match for my piloting skills. Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? May luck be with you. Of course, as I am sure you are aware, luck does not exist. But it seems to comfort humans to believe they possess good quantities of it.
hold on there. I gotta sign you in. Don't think I've seen you around. That means you must be new to Stellar Bay. You are new here, right? I knew it! See, I made what you'd call a logical deduction. You must have seen those UDL gunships on your way in. There's only 3 of them these days. Still, they tend to scare folk off. You may not have heard, you being new, but Stellar Bay hardly ever gets off-road traffic, us being cut off by the board and all. Which means I never get to do this part, but I've been practicing, so here goes. On behalf of Monarch Stellar Industries, welcome to Stellar Bay, home of the freshest sal tuna in Halcyon. Swell. There's one for the logs. I'm even gonna give you your own entry code. I'm not supposed to do that. It's against procedure, but Mr. Sanjar isn't so strict about the rules here. Besides, I got a lot of empty entries to fill. Oh, that'll just make Mr. Sanjar's day if you tell him. The board makes up lots of nasty stories about raptidons and cannibals and whatnot. But that's all outside our walls. Mostly. Oh, sure. It makes Stellar Bay sound like a rotten place, but it's not so bad. Get a good breeze going, and the sulfur smell mostly covers up the fishy smell. Anyway, Mr. Sanjar's got lots to say on that. We don't get ship traffic in town. Only off-worlders who do make it out here are Sublight. They got a base in Fallbrook. And thank the stars for them, or we would have run out of Rizzo's Purple Berry Crunch years ago. Mr. Sanjar will be mighty pleased to meet you. If you see him over at headquarters, maybe you could tell him I did a bang-up job of welcoming you? Oh, and if you're headed that way, maybe you could do me a favor? I got this Rizzo's Rangers Tossball poster coming in on the next Sublight shipment, signed by the Black Hole himself. Only I haven't heard anything in a while. You think you could check with Celia to see if it's come in? That's Bertie Holcomb. Only one of the greatest tossball hackers ever.
I wonder if he's kin. Dad had family that worked for Rizzo's. I never got to meet them.
Everyone's heard of him, even on Monarch. We still get some of the games. You've been living in a sulfur pit or something? On account of him being the best hacker who ever played, nothing gets by him. He sucks up every ball that comes his way. Well, Holcomb's had a lot of nicknames over his career. Used to be the Tallywhacker on account of what he'd do to the score. Before that, he was the Slick Stick, because his shots were always so smooth. I swear I'm not. At the start of his career, people called him the Hack Boss, but no one thought that was very catchy. I couldn't really say, I'm just a fan of the game. But the fancy collector types say the more people see these things, the less Thanks a bunch! Celia works for Mr. Sanjar in the MSI building next to the bar. She's always there, so you can't miss her.
Got any news from the rest of House?
We're not the best equipped, but scouting for rats keeps us on our toes.
You don't look like Sublight. We don't get many outs.
We don't get many outsiders.
Hey, hold it! I saw that. What?
You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood. Wouldn't mind smelling like salt tuna if we could sell more of it.
Velma seem out of sorts to you?
She's always cranky.
No,
You want to talk to the boss?
more than usual.
She's in the back of the warehouse.
Wouldn't know. I made it a point to stay out of her way.
Shut! What do you think you're doing?
I can take it.
What do you think you're doing? If you want to talk to the boss, she's in the back of the warehouse. You're probably looking for Velma. Watch out. She's in a mood.
real slick.
Look, you can tell Catherine the new shipment will be ready when it's ready, all right? She's welcome to come up here and pack boxes herself if she's in such a hurry. Sorry. Seems I got my cables crossed. Thought you were another shakedown tough from Fallbrook. Hope you can forgive my temper. This job has been running me ragged lately. First, my autoloader foreman stages a walkout, and now my chief pescatological health manager is missing. Braxton. He's in charge of getting the fish fat, but also making sure they don't get too many tumors. He's a real wizard with pharmaceuticals, but he has creative notions of working hours. Comes with living in a free colony, I guess. Since you don't seem to be constrained yourself, maybe you could check up on him. He lives in the apartments. Tell him Velma said to get his lazy ass down here, or she might start noticing those extra jugs he's been taking from supply. Something else on your mind? Caleb Herrick runs the autoloader operators. He thinks I don't pay them enough for flipping switches and turning dials.
So the job's easy, but you're not doing it? Something smells here. I mean, everything smells in here, but something's fishy. Wait.
He and his whole crew walked out. Say they won't come back unless I pay them more. Because we've got a budget, all right? And in case you haven't noticed, MSI doesn't exactly have a lot of spare bits on hand. Not on Monarch. Sanjar threw out the old work mandates and penalties. Sure. Until your workers start making ridiculous demands. Fine by me. Stealing's such a nasty word. Let's call it skimming. And yeah, let's just say I've noticed we're not like those corporate towns where you get fined for sleeping on the wrong side of the bed. Besides, the Spacer's Choice stuff we use is cheap enough. Sublight boss out of Fallbrook. Handles most goods that come in or out of Stellar Bay. Has a mouth like a Ground 6 spacer. Caleb Herrick runs the auto. You mind slapping him around a little while you're at it? I'm joking. Mostly. Unless you can do it without hurting his job performance. If you can find a way to get him back to work, I'll make it worth your while. Check the yacht club. He's usually there. Unless you're here to tell me he's agreed to do his job again? Hard workers? They turn dials and flip switches. The machines do all the actual work.
I'll wager she don't pay those folks that maintain the mechanicals decent neither.
Caleb and his crew have it better than anyone else around here. I don't have the bits for it, plain and simple. Besides, if I make an exception for him, I gotta do the same for everyone. If Caleb wants to keep this job, he'd better get back to it. I'm about ready to hire sublight contractors at this rate. For running me ragged while he takes an extended leave at the bar? Not on your life. Maybe so, but I bet you Caleb runs out of bits first. Then he'll have to come back. He says he's got a stash to tide his crew over. Could be he's all talk, but if the money's real, I bet you he keeps it at home. Near the diner.
You'd steal from your own people? That's low, ma'am.
That's business. Someone's got to keep the lights on. Fine by me.
Reminds me of the crew cabin on one of my first ships.
You reckon the smell ever goes away? Maybe the wind off the sea helps. Great work.
Another fighting me.
has it. Time for a drink?
Well, hello, and welcome to the home of the Iconoclasts. I'm Rose. Please take a pamphlet. In it, you'll find everything you need to know about Graham, his Philosophist truths, and the Iconoclast way. He wrote it himself, you know. Oh no, I'm so sorry. I keep forgetting we're out of pamphlets. Gosh, blast it. I'm so sorry. It's a habit, I suppose. We used to have plenty, but we ran out of paper and ink. Ever since the corporations left, it's been hard to come by the basics. But you know what we do have? Freedom! This is the only place in Halcyon you'll find it. No corporations, no shackles, no problems. Oh, those are just hurdles. We deal with them as they come. You're welcome to stay with us, so long as you can earn your keep. That's a nice way to think about it. Graham would be our father. I suppose Zora might make a good mother if the two of them could stop arguing. You can think of those two as our leaders, but they're more like examples. Why, he's our founder. Graham taught us about philosophism. Through him, we came to the eternal truth. I'm glad you're asking, by the way. I hope you'll consider staying. She's been with us since the beginning. I think she was our sawbones back then, but now she's more like our commander. She goes and finds people in the wilderness and gets them to come here, and she keeps us from being chewed on and whatnot. She's liable to take your head off if you screw up, but then she'll sew it back on for you. Graham's place is in the large building straight back. Zora's sometimes there talking with him, but usually she's in the triage clinic next door. Oh, Graham settled here a long time ago. Shoot, I wish I had a pamphlet to give you. It's all in there. I wasn't around back then, but they say a lot of the old MSI corporate folks died here. He calls it a spiritual metaphor.
I hope this fancy soap we got is extra strength. I'm feeling a mite ripe. He seems like a nice boy to me. I'm glad you gave him a shot. Because we've never ended up in a fight? I mean, sure, he's a bit rough around the edges. I bet he just needs somebody to show him a better path. You might surprise yourself.
Something on your mind?
May the eternal truth guide you.
Ugh, my stomach.
Welcome to the Emporium. I'm Bronson. Yeah, plenty. If you're the type to fix a thing or two, I've got a couple reports I need to follow up on. The pipes up on Milton's house burst. Someone needs to shut them off. Then there are the cables outside the bar. A sprat chewed through them, and now they're spitting lightning. Then there's the old guardhouse, outside town on the way to the old Bayside Terrace. Someone needs to reset the comms breaker there. That's one way to look at it. Another is, those are the only things in this whole fucking town that are broke. Maybe we appreciate that.
Mister, there's something I've been wondering since we got here. How do you protect your wires from sulfuric degradation?
Oh, easy. Most of the wildlife here seems to tolerate the sulfur. So we wrap our copper in wrapped bits. Hides, tongues, whatever's pliable. I ought to tell you, most of these systems are routed through one of our terminals. You might be able to handle some of them remotely if you know your way around a computer. We sent Milton out to check on the comms tower a while ago. Ain't heard back. I'd wager he got 8. Up the hill. It's right on the cliff's edge. What are you buying? It ain't really a store. Think of me more like a quartermaster, and a chef, and a handyman, and whatever else we need. Cooking's my true passion. You need a Raptidon to taste good? Bring it here, and I'll work a miracle. We gotta eat. Eating means hunting, and hunting means armaments. We used to let people take what they will, but then some idiot shot some other idiot over cards. So Zora set up a system. You fuck up, you don't get to buy gear. You play...
Seems like a nice little town. Except for all the dead critters.
You meditate today? If not, you should.
Spacer's choice. It ain't the right choice, it's Spacer's choice. Bunch of garbage.
This armor itches something awful.
Nice and easy. That hands cap.
As you were.
Stringy bastard. Good thing Sora needs tendons.
Heading out.
Get a whiff of that. Hope Zora sent it. Hey, you! What do you think you're doing? All right. Get out of here.
A Manta Queen.
Yeah. We felled it, mind.
A stranger comes to our home. If you're looking for a path to walk, you've found one. If you're looking for a teacher, I am one. Welcome to the Iconoclasts. Shed the trappings of a materialistic life, Captain. You'll find your soul much less burdened.
Also, we're broke.
Yes. If we were meant to enjoy the things that glitter and shine, the universe would provide them.
Most of Halcyon isn't up Sulphur Creek.
I'd wager the opposite. The corporations are doomed. Only we have the truth at our backs, and we are better for it. Now, why have you come? The Iconoclasts are free folk. We live under our rules, motivated by our own beliefs, all petals on the same flower of enlightenment. Meanwhile, the board strangles the will of its workers. It is the penultimate exercise of a poisoned society where people are enslaved by a corporate ladder. We seek to replace their way of life with ours. Philosophism is the key to unlocking their shackle. Oh, yes. Gunships hover in our skies, ready for the day they decide to come to our doors waving banners of war. The perception of visionaries is often tainted by the lies of their oppressors. A sad state of affairs, to be sure. All right. Awakening is available to all whose minds are ready to accept it. What would you like to know? The point of no return. When your mind fully opens to the eternal truth. Every philosophist experiences it along the path to enlightenment. For many, it is the first brush with the cold of death, when they realize that all of their lives have boiled down into the single truth of that moment. Mine was witnessing my friend and colleague transform into the very Sanjar Nandi. He leads MSI out of Stellar Bay. Such a shame, the way his sensibilities have been corrupted. The eternal. We are all part of the consciousness of the cosmos. Each of us plays a tiny role in the universe's continual journey toward understanding itself. You and I, and the rats and the mantis swarms. Divinity is in us all, and the eternal is that divinity. Everyone, regardless of ability to believe, is another facet of the universe, not in the sense of a single entity, fashioning the universe as a whittler fashions a flute. The universe came into being over time, organically, naturally, and without purpose. In that sense, I suppose you could say that, in the interest of questions like these are distractions. It doesn't matter whether an entity's... All right. Why have you come? A great many things, in fact.
We could always use a hand rounding up supplies.
Or... Now here's an idea. There's an old printing press I've been trying to get up and running. I have always dreamed of subverting the colony's periodicals and turning the board's own propaganda against them. If I could get my message directly in the hands of Byzantium citizens, I'm sure they'd recognize the truth. Will you aid us in our cause? Wonderful. I requisitioned replacement rollers for it some time ago. Huxley should have delivered them yesterday. Speaking of which, where is Huxley?
You bought rollers? You haven't even cleared the wraps out yet. What are you doing wasting bits on... Wait, where is Huxley?
It seems we're out a runner. If you intend to help our cause, I'll ask you to meet our MSI supplier in her stead. She meets us in the ruins of Bayside Terrace. From our compound, follow the road north. One of our sympathizers, a woman named Carlotta, periodically buys goods on our behalf from Stellar Bay's store. Stellar Bay has caught on, but they remain friendly. Wonderful. While you're at it, I wonder if Carlotta still has those high-capacity cartridges? Grab a few, will you? There should be some funds left over from the last shipment. We can use them to copy and modify radio serials. Yes, not just magazines, but their precious dramas.
Unbelievable. I hope I don't have to tell you this, but if there is extra money, would you mind buying, I don't know, food and medicine? Graham, if you need me, I'll be in triage.
This armor itches something awful. Hey, not so fast!
Got it.
Hey,
Inside
you.
voices.
Carry on. Hmm?
It ain't right.
We gotta earn our keep out here.
That don't mean we ought to be following her into the jaws of a man.
Ugh.
Never seen you before. Take my advice. Move on. Get off-world if you can. If you can't, get to the bay. I've been halfway around T1. Monarch, they call it now. Been around it twice. Stood at the hot pole and the cold. Nothing on this moon for nobody. Just a lot of heartbreak. It's pretty simple, kid. I sit at the bar, I drink, I mind my own business. That's it. Kid, I ain't got but half a liver left. And what's there don't work so good, and I can still drink you under the table. Look, you wanna buy the drinks, I'll do my bit to keep you entertained. Just don't ask me to dance. I can't repay no kindnesses now. Alright, so, I reckon one of the most interesting places I've been is the hot pole. You know what that is? Exactly. This moon ain't big enough to rotate. It's locked. One side always facing Olympus, the other always facing away. Olympus might not be a star, but it throws off assloads of heat. Monarch's hot pole is the part that's closest to the gas giant. It's in the middle of this big mountain plateau. Volcanoes so high the peaks are in space. The funny thing is, then in the middle there's just smooth rock. Circular-like. All the dust blown away. Pale gray with hair-fine cracks all over. I don't know what I was thinking. Maybe I was lightheaded from the O2. But I felt like I had to take off the breather for a moment. But I wonder now if I imagined it. Trick of the air. The heat. It was at the edge of hearing. Deep down. Far off. Irregular. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of a bird pecking out of a shell. I don't like to tell that one sober. Get the shake something fierce. When there's a groundquake now, I hold my breath. Because I don't know if it's Olympus squeezing us with gravity, or wings getting stretched. A great many things. I'll tell you what. You want to listen to an old man ramble? There might be a job in it for you. I used to run with a squad of mercenaries here. Good folk. Fella named Lamont introduced me. Thing is, I ain't seen them in an age. Stands to reason they got themselves ate. Oh, sure. I was with them when the corps were leaving Monarch. Hell of a time, that. We split ways around the time this twice-fucked moon got abandoned. Thing is, I got myself some fond memories. We had some keepsakes of ours we kept in a lockbox. And I've been thinking thereabouts. I'll be glad for it, but I ain't stupid. This planet tends to get people killed. I just want some closure. Getting on in years, kid. Eggs ain't working like they used to. Sulfur burns a little too long in the lungs. Just appreciate it, kid. I'm marking outposts on your map. We spend a lot of time out there. Might be a good place to start. Here's a key for the door.
Hey.
You.
As you were.
This armor itches something wrong. Hope Zora sends me on next.
I'm going. Be right there.
Huh.
Looks like I'm not the only new face around here. What do I call you, stranger? Welcome to Amber Heights, Captain. Call me Tucker. You here to join the Iconoclasts? Help us free this world? Yeah, to Amber Heights, anyway. Only got here a few weeks ago. Was living in Stellar Bay before then. But I can't tell you how great it is to finally be free of them walls. Screw safe. I've had enough of playing it safe to last me a dozen lifetimes. A body's not meant to live such a guarded life. Everybody needs a little danger and excitement, something to live for. That's what you get outside the walls. And if you're lucky, you find a cause worth bleeding for. And that's what I got right here. The Iconoclasts welcomed me into the fold. They're teaching me how to survive and truly be free. That's worth more to me than safe ever could be. Sorry about that. It stems from some, family trauma. I don't want from the yoke of corporate tyranny. It's what all us iconoclasts strive for, with Graham at the helm. We want unfettered freedom, not the lies that MSI tries to sell in Stellar Bay. True escape from all rules and constraints. You want to know more? Listen to Graham's broadcasts. He's been talking up a storm. See, that's what the Corps want you to think. If you think rules are needed, they can force any and all they want down your throat, and you'll just swallow it. You need to talk to Graham. He'll help you find the truth amongst the lies that...
Trash. Cute.
Get a whiff of that sweet
Yeah,
sulfur air.
look at him. He just keeps making them. You're fucking weird, Carl.
I don't think he can hear you. He's in the zone.
The trash cube zone.
You gotta admit, they're convenient. Fit together real nice.
Trash is trash. I don't care what shape it's in.
I guess.
What are you buying? I'll be damned. Thanks for doing that. Here. Zora sets aside a bit or two for people who help out. Before you ask, no, it ain't pay. Just being generous to folks who do a good turn. Hey, thanks again for helping out. What can I do you for? It ain't really. We gotta eat. Eating means hunting, and hunting means armaments. We used to let people take what they will, but then some idiot shot some other idiot over cards. So Zora set up a system.
Ah, crazy town. Never change.
Everybody here looks wore out. Is it just me? Miss Ellie, Dr. Finhill. I noticed your pistol's been making a funny noise.
What are you talking about? I oil it every night.
Well, look here. Your slide's not recoiling fully. You might be due for a new spring. I could take a look, maybe fix it for you.
Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back.
Oh, no. I mean, it don't cost nothing. I got a spare spring in my pocket here, even.
Everything's got a price.
Miss McDevitt used to say that plants need sulfur to grow. Now there's just tubs of it lying about.
Ugh. This is why I prefer spaceships and clean...
Nice one! We did it! You take real good care of your pistol, Dr. Fenhill.
I oughta. It's kept me alive this long.
I mean, you treat it nice. Makes me happy to see, because I feel the same way about my wrench.
Look, it's a tool that does a job. Feelings got nothing to do with it. Try that again.
You sure have seen a lot of the colony, huh, Dr. Fenhill?
Ellie. And sure, but most of it... It looks the same from inside a ship.
Sorry, Dr. Ellie.
Trouble checking in? Or you might need directions to the amenities? If you're locked out of your cabin, a replacement key costs 50 bits. Guess it's true. Fallbrook really is the best-kept secret in all of Monarch, excepting the Borst Factory's secret ingredient. We're a leisurely stopover for the more adventurous spacefaring traveler. Understand? Swell. We like quick on the draw types like you. Saloon is straight back and to the right. Once you're feeling sated, you're welcome to a private cabin. Only $250 a night. Ms. Malin can let you one if you're interested. She's the one who runs this racket. I am here to anticipate and facilitate your needs, patron. You're looking for Ms. Malin. On an errand for the boss lady? That sounds ominous. Yeah. Ms. Malin won't like that a whit. She's not but just down the way. A 10 to 1 says she's either pouring drinks or skinning a sprat in the saloon. Word to the wise. Ms. Malin don't take kindly to interlopers. When I said sprat, I didn't mean the sort with whiskers and a tail. No reservation, no problem. Day trippers are always welcome in our saloon. Straight back and to the right. If you hit the falls, you've gone too far. Check in with Ms. Malin. She'll set you straight.
Oh, well, this is certainly a town, I think.
Drinking, gambling, and organized crime. Everything you need to keep civilization running.
What are you looking at?
Take a gander at that mug. I ain't ever seen someone so adept-looking my whole life.
He means gullible, Captain.
That's awfully kind of you, mister.
Oh, now, come on. All I mean is, well, rather that, you don't seem like the usual pigeons we pluck. No offense, of course, if you are a Byzantium Goldblood. Say, I'd like to do you a favor. Might I interest you in a surefire scheme? Wink, wink. Oh, I enjoy a good challenge. I'll get right to it then. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats. Too right you are. Only problem is my sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. As I was saying, you look more capable than most of the hoople heads around these parts. What say you locate him and retrieve the goods for me? In return, I'll cut you 5% of the profit. Hit me. I won't even hit back. Wow. You're either an extremely important person or slated for a slow and torturous death. I do hope it's the former. Either way, you'll find Miss Catherine Malin straight back in Malin's House of Hospitality. Officially, I keep the books for Miss Malin, provide loans to the Byzantium Goldbloods for gaming, and oversee our drug-running operations. Speaking of, might I interest you in a purchase? I'll give you a first-time discount. That's 5% off and a free drink at the ante-up. You're welcome. A shrewd decision. Here's your starter pack and your drink voucher. I run my sprat carriers back and forth through the shipping tunnels near the waterfall. Ought to check there first. Good luck. And don't get any ideas about pilfering the drugs for yourself. Was that sarcasm? I'm going to assume it was not. If it's sarcasm, you've got to show it somehow, like with a wink. My sprat carriers scurry back and forth through the shipping tunnels. Any trail ought to start there. When you've got the goods, I'll be here. Got the goods? Because I know you wouldn't be wasting... Hit me. I won't even hit back. Pure and simple, it's like this. I run our drug delivery service. Recently, I had the genius idea to cut costs in half by swapping our autoloaders with faster, cheaper sprats. Only problem is my sprat carriers ain't arrived from their latest run. You're retrieving the lost goods for me. In return, I'm paying... Sure it is.
No, but thank you. I'm quite all right as I am. Oh, You're still here. I said I don't require anything at this time. Deal? A rather bad one indeed. The fella swore Fallbrook was unrivaled in its leisurely pursuits. But it seems to me the whole town is designed primarily to leech one's bits. And now that I've run dry, or nearly so, the fellas have abandoned me back to Byzantium. You wouldn't leave a friend in need, I'm sure. Don't suppose I could just ask you. Can't fathom why you'd go searching her out. But it's your neck on the noose. I was told she runs the saloon.
Keep walking, Rung Leech.
Want to meet at Stella Bay? Boss lady told me to take the night off.
I'm beat. Just got back from delivering to that house.
The ones that always smell like raw meat and got splotches of blood on them?
Booze like this leads to
Oddest
two
thing.
things. Bumping uglies and brawling.
I need a word.
You really did it. Give these payouts a few years and I'll be rolling in it. Hey, you did the real work. All I had to do was not be dead.
I'm just glad my folks aren't gonna live off that awful story they made up.
Maybe now they'll have to go back to real jobs. Come on, I thought we were celebrating. You want me to think about the future? If only you could have been my chief surgeon back in the day. Anyway, enough of that. You did a job for me, so here's your fee. Could have fooled me with all your tough talk. What's gotten into you? You sure? Because my kind of friends will pick your pocket clean while they're getting hammered with you. Well, I've got a few years of experience that would suggest differently. Still, maybe you've got a point. Maybe it's good to watch someone's back now and then so that one day they watch yours. So, you just keep the money. One of us has to look out for your interests. Don't mention it. Really, this feels weird enough as it is. Something on your mind? Teach me that.
Welcome to the offices of the Greater Halcyon Insurance Group, Halcyon's premier provider of life and disaster-related insurance. I'm obligated to inform you that our coverage does not extend to incidents deemed to result from negligence. Some people, but no one in this office, I assure you, might call it stupidity.
It's like they say, there's no cure for that.
So, what kind of insurance package can I interest you in? We're running a special on dismemberment policies. Buy one, get one half off. We're not on Monarch. For all practical and tax-related purposes, this office is an official enclave of Byzantium. Legally speaking, corporations are not allowed to operate on Monarch, but financially speaking, there are certain costs to running a business from within Byzantium's walls. So while our official address is in the city, and while our office here is technically an extension of that address, we found it more expedient to conduct our key operations here. So we can... what's the phrase? Pass savings to the consumer, of course. We prefer to think of it as chasing the savings. Turns out that not having to pay kickbacks, fines, and rent in the most expensive city in Halcyon improves our liquidity. Plus, Sublight keeps this place running remarkably well. Plenty. As my boss likes to say, there's a policy for every situation and an exclusion for every policy. We've insured unusually expressive eyebrows, outrageous statements, disastrous marriages. Usually character actors, or corporate execs with menacing stares. That policy is almost exclusively for our corporate clientele. In the unlikely event they make a claim about a product that turns out to be less than accurate, they need... Those are mostly for top-rungers in Byzantium who have a lot of social and financial capital wrapped up in their marriage contracts. There's one for your beloved eloping with your sibling, your beloved eloping with their sibling, scandalous rumors forcing you apart, the revelation of a secret love child. We try to cover every possible... One thing's for sure...
Always imagine Fallbrook with...
Cleaner? Fancier?
cheaper. I've emptied 14-bit carts in the last 2 hours.
That's because you've got a terrible tell. Whenever you're lying, your right eye twitches like mad.
It most certainly does not.
I wouldn't steer you wrong, friend. See? There it goes again.
I'll keep it down.
My big carts are fully loaded and ready to be spent.
I think I'll go for a swim.
Mind your own business, friend. Mind your own business, friend.
Please, would you kindly inform the crew that long chats with Ada are not required every time the captain leaves the ship? Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of... I'll be here. We're now in orbit above Fallbrook, Captain.
I had a patient who went swimming at a place like this. Got eaten from the inside out by parasitic amoebas.
Need to move the chat.
Hello, I need a refill. Oh, pardon. You don't work here. Booze like this?
My bit carts are fully loaded and ready to be spent. Bring on the recreation.
What do you want? Oh, hey, Vicar Max. What are you doing on Monarch? I thought scienticians ain't welcome here.
Haven't you heard? Everyone's welcome here. It's a fucking worker's paradise. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Never worked a day in your miserable life. You're just a parasite, living off my goodwill. Well, guess what? My goodwill's exhausted, along with my temper. This is the guy who told me about the book while we were in prison. I lied about finding a scholar. But I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to inflict massive amounts of pain on this guy. Yes, that's about the long and short of it. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. I was about to beat you. Severely.
Wait! I know who can translate the book for you.
It's too late for that. I threw away my life chasing fairy tales. Will punishing you fix any of that? Of course not. Okay. Talk, Reggie.
It was stolen from some sort of expert on philosophism. Weird hermit lady on Scylla. My father used to deliver supplies to the mining outpost there. It's true! My father collected some extra bits on the side by diverting some of the supplies to the gal. The way he told it, he thought the book looked valuable, so he took it. Couldn't find any buyers when it turned out to not only be French, but banned as well.
Fine. We've got more important things to do anyway.